All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Planetside 2 training of building layouts and standardized callouts. This training will go over just basically a quick walkthrough of 6 of the most commonly used buildings across all the continents. And buildings you will recognize because we have lots of fights in them from time to time and sometimes in succession from base to the next base to the next base. So we're just going to go over some of the key points of these buildings, things to look out for, things to be aware of, and some just basic terminology that you may hear in comms from your squad leader and not really clear on what they mean. I'm going to go over just brief definitions and examples of such things throughout this training. A copy of this training is on the website. There is a hyperlink in the Planetside Discord. It's in the channel of PS2 members, and you can find that there. It's called Lesson Plan. I'm basically going to be going right through that, just going right from the top right to the bottom, and I will be highlighting sections along the way so that you can pretty much follow along with me, and hopefully that'll eliminate some questions along the way. So the first base that we're going to be going to today is going to be the triple stack building that is at Alpha Waypoint. For members of Bravo, go ahead and load up your Valkyrie. For members of Alpha, go ahead and load up your Galaxy. Okay, so as we're approaching this, everyone knows this building. It is a watchtower. As far as buildings goes, and this is probably the best defended and most secure type of building there is in the game besides a base. And what is a base? There's only 3 bases in the game: an amp station, a tech plant, and a biolab. So if it's not one of those, this is the most defendable, most secure type of building. It has 5 floors and an exterior that is very complicated on every floor besides the first. Well, the first is complicated enough because that's where people come in. But so again, 5 floors. There are plenty of entrances. I can't even begin to tell you how many overall entrances from the outside there is to the inside of the building. Just know that on every floor there is more than 4 ways in. So in every floor that we go to, we're going to have more than 4 entrances. The watchtower usually contains your ground vehicle terminal. There's usually 1 equipment terminal, and that's usually opposite of the teleporter on the ground floor. The teleporter, if you don't know, is over here on the south side where Hydro is. This teleporter goes directly from the spawn room to the ground floor, but if you're going from the ground floor, it goes directly up to the 5th floor. The spawn room is on the 3rd floor. So if you're ever in the spawn room on the 3rd floor and you take the teleporter, it's going to bring you down to the 1st floor. If you immediately get back into the teleporter, it's going to put you on the 5th floor.
I never noticed. I never paid attention to the fact that there's 3 teleporters.
So we're back out in the vehicle driveway of the 1st floor right now. Once again, you're going to have 2 vehicle terminals up there where Helena is and where Goblin is. There is a base, I forget which watchtower it is and on which continent, but there is one base that has a control point right where Balbo is. But again, that's in the minority. There's typically not a control point on the 1st floor of a watchtower, other than that one example that I can't remember the name of the base. So again, we're going to take this step by step. We're going to go in through the interior, and we're going to go up the stairs. So once you go up the stairs, and you come out to this floor, this is the 2nd floor. The 2nd floor is a very, very interesting floor because sometimes there's an SCU, sometimes there's a generator, sometimes there's a control point, and that's usually always where Hydra's going, which is a small little square, small little room on the north side of this particular watchtower, in between south and east. In between east and west. So north side, small little room. As you see on this base, there's an 8 point. Sometimes this is replaced with a generator. Sometimes this is replaced with an SCU, which is a spawn control unit, which is very important to know because if you ever want to take Crossroads down, you just have to take the 3 points on the outside, and then the SCU becomes vulnerable. And if you could get a strike team in here, they could disable this SCU, and then enemy cannot spawn in and defend that base. They have to bring in their spawns some other way, whether it be a Sunderer or Gal drops, Valkyrie drops, transports, or steel rains. So, but anyway, I'm getting off topic. So sometimes there's an SCU in here. Other thing about the second floor is that if you follow Hydro, you can literally go around the outside of this whole floor and never be on the inside of this building, really. You're just kind of passing through the inside, really. And this is great because you could actually take a shooting position anywhere along the outside to provide gunfire to the exterior ground level, or, more importantly, provide gunfire and defendable positions from the outside into the SCU point generator room. It's actually very good to be on the outside. Problem is, you sometimes get light assaults. So you got to be aware of that. Sometimes you get people that drop down from the third floor. Got to be aware of that. Sometimes there's people that throw C4 over the side, whether it be a light assault coming up or someone above you dropping C4 down. So if you're going to be in those side hallways, the exterior, the walkways, just be aware that you're not alone out there, and you could very easily have someone behind you without you knowing. Another great thing about this floor is there is a small little blind spot right here. When the enemy comes down from the floor above, sometimes they'll take the stairs and jump directly towards the A point. If you're crouched down in this position, they won't see you when they jump over the side, and then you immediately run right behind them, double tap to the head, boom, threat neutralized. You immediately come right back and resume your position right here. So this is a great small little spot that can provide a lot of kills if you're sneaky enough. Other two spots is where Tor Guardian is. That corner sometimes provides a great spot. And on the other side, Baobo is providing that same position, just mirrored on the other side. Sometimes they'll just jump immediately off of the third floor ramp and immediately start heading to the point. And they won't bother to look behind them and clear their corners. You could very easily just get an easy kill and just come up right behind them, just boop, boop, done. Go right back to your spot and wait for the next sucker. Another great thing about the second floor is the opposite side, south side. When you're on the south side, you actually have a much better chance of control. Not that you can't do it on the north side, good, but you have a better chance doing it on the south side because of the fact that you have these half walls that you can still see the stairwell, a full stairway, 2 levels of a stair. You can still cover the A point, which is also /SCU/gen, and you have immediate access to the exterior walkway. So as long as you're keeping your head on a swivel, or at least more than one person with you, you could keep this area pretty much locked down as long as you're on your toes and know where your threats are going to be coming from. Alright, so that covers the second floor. We're moving up the stairs, and we're going up to the third floor. We're going to stay on the outside. Outside, you're going to see these 2 elevators. The purple beam goes down, the yellow one goes up. Just know that when you take the elevator up, it can put you on the 4th or 5th floor. And when you're taking the elevator down, you can't stop off on the 4th or the 3rd floor. There is a battle shield right opposite of the spawn room where Hydro is shooting, where Hydro is at and jumping. This kind of blast shield just kind of provides a little bit of extra cover to the spawn exit, if you will. This floor is also provides turrets. Usually it's anti-vehicle, and anti-personnel, depending on the base. Sometimes they're all anti-vehicles. Sometimes they're all anti-personnel. Sometimes there's 2 turrets. Most of the time there's 4 turrets. And it also does provide an exterior walk around, just like this. I'm going to go inside on the other side, but if you just walk around the side. Now, you'll also see this on the opposite side, which is now I'm on the south side. On the south side, you also have these elevators. As I mentioned, the elevators can drop you off on the 4th or 5th floor if you're going up, or if you're coming down on the 4th or 3rd floor where we're at. So it's a great way to get around this tower with a little bit of assistance. And the great thing about these elevators that you learn during your movement training is that you just have to be in the beam of the elevator just for a split second to get fall immunity. Fall immunity is a great way to kind of maneuver from the very highest levels of this tower to get to the ground floor exterior and take no damage. No fall damage at all. You just have to kind of bounce your way through either walk your way through the beam or jump your way through the beam. Either way, you just have to be in the beam for a split second, and it gives you fall immunity. Fall immunity lasts roughly 5 to 7 seconds, I think. I don't think it really goes beyond that. So that's a great little tidbit there. Moving around, we're keep on going counterclockwise. I am now currently on the east side of the tower, 3rd floor. Now, instead of going to the north, we're going to go right through the middle, through this blue shield. Now, as you see, this blue shield leads to a small section that is completely protected. These blue shields protect the spawner. Whoever is the controller of the base, it protects them. This is a little safe zone. So you can pop your head out both the west side, pop out east side, and shoot down some people. You could even pop out to directly to the north and go on the stairs, take the elevators on the opposite side. Or, more importantly, if you go south, you'll enter a small little room that has 2 elevators up. If you take the elevators up, you're now on the 4th floor. The 4th, and I mentioned earlier that the spawn room was on the 3rd floor. I apologize. Spawn room is on the 4th floor. So this is your spawn room. Very simple equipment terminal, spawn tube, and the teleporter. Teleporter, as I mentioned, will take, if you go from the spawn room, take the teleporter, you're going to end up on the ground floor. If you immediately go back into the teleporter from the ground floor, you're going to be on the floor above us. And then you can very easily just drop down from where Goblin is, and you'll be back on the 4th floor. Great thing about this floor is that you can actually head back out to the south right here. And you have a small little balcony. This small little balcony is very easy to farm if you are the attacker. All you have to do as an attacker... Hold on, I gotta stop talking. Actually, Septrix, be my guinea pig. Take the lift, but land on this that little platform over there. There you go. Septrix, where he is right now, he can annihilate people just immediately coming out of this and taking one of the 2 elevators. And it's overlooked, so easily overlooked by everyone that comes out here. So you can get a lot of kills if you want to be sweaty and just take care of some people that may not be aware of that. I ain't gonna lie, I've done it in the past too. I'm sure everyone's gotten a kill or 2 up there. But another great thing about this spot, it gives you access to the elevators, both down and both up. So from this position, I'm just going to go ahead and go up, and then I'm going to land on the 5th floor. Now the 5th floor, we're going to go out to the air pads real quick. The 5th floor is great because it provides 4 air pads, all at the 4 corners of your building, whether it's north, south, east, west, or like this one, northwest, northeast, southwest, southeast. It'll provide 4 air pads. You could do a lot of damage from the air pads, whether it's anti-vehicle rockets, decimators, annihilators. You could defend from the air, because on this floor you also have the anti-aircraft turrets if your watchtower has it. You can land galaxies. You could do airdrops directly onto the air pad. You could also provide a light assault, easy access to the antenna array, which is where Balbo is. The antenna array itself has 5 different levels that you could kind of be on. I'm not gonna go up there and show you all 5 levels. Just know that if you're a light assault, there are 5 different levels of that antenna array that you could actually potentially set up and do some damage from. From the very tip where he is right now, you can set up a beacon, or anywhere down along the antenna array to basically these little legs that I'm shooting right now that are right above the doorways. You could even stay right up there and do some damage and people coming out of the main tower. Other than that, the air pads and the turrets, you have your air terminals. You have your elevators that brought you up here. And another great thing about this, as it was just shown, I'm on the current north side. No, where am I? I'm on the north side. If you come over to the north side, and there's another set of elevators, you could easily use this this elevator pad, I guess, this ramp. You don't even have to touch the elevator to get onto this little ramp that Septrix was originally on to shoot the enemy. You could just jump directly from here and just go over there and just shoot people from there. If you do take the down elevator, you could use the fall immunity again. I would personally recommend the up elevator, so that way you can get a little thrust forward as well. The down elevator does give you the fall immunity as well, but it's bringing you down already. You can't really get much forward thrust out of it. If you take the up elevator, you can get forward thrust and actually still have the fall immunity. So if you're ever looking to get fall immunity, I would recommend always using the up elevator, which is a yellow beam, over the purple beam, although they will both provide fall immunity. And then inside the tower, 5th floor, is very basic. There's usually no decor in the interior. You do have a protected zone. You'll see the blue shields guarding each of the exits. You'll see one elevator going down to the 4th floor, which is the spawn room. And you'll also see an up elevator going through a one-way shield, which is the spawn room as well. You'll have a teleporter here. And again, when you're taking the teleporter from the 5th floor, it brings you directly down to the 1st floor. And if you turn around immediately and take the elevator back, it brings you right back to the 5th floor. It'll never take you back to the spawn room. The spawn room one is the only one that is the only teleporter in this tower that is a one-way. And the teleporter in the spawn room is a one-way from 4th floor to 1st floor. You can't ever spawn into the spawn room. So the best you could do is spawn up, take the teleporter to the 5th floor, and then from 5th floor, just take the little elevator down, and boom, you're in the spawn room. That's the easiest and quickest way to get back into the spawn room. And then once you're done, you can go get back in the elevator and come back up. And boom, you're back on the 5th floor. That pretty much concludes the watchtower. As I mentioned at the beginning, every single floor contains at least, at the very minimum, 4 entry points. Whether that be a rail over the side, whether it be a doorway from the outside, whether it be a stairwell coming up from another floor or an elevator coming down from a floor, a very minimum of 4 ways onto that floor. So, and most of the floors on a watchtower provide, I don't know, 6 to 8 entries. And I'm considering the light assault over a rail as 1 entry, no matter what side it's on. So it still provides a lot of entry into this tower. But, as I said at the beginning, it's also the most defendable. If you can hold your enemy on the 1st floor, you're doing a great job. If you could hold your enemy on the 2nd floor, you're still doing a good job. If you hold your enemy at the 3rd floor, you might be losing that battle a little bit. You may need to dig in a little bit. If you lose the 3rd floor and you're defending from up top, from the 5th, because you can't do any real defense from the 4th. As later when you have time, walk around the 4th. There are no ledges. There's no catwalk on the outside. All there is a ledge to the arms that are supporting the air pads, and the ledge that overlooks the spawn room back door. There's no actual walkway around the 4th floor, so you can't defend it. So if you're defending this tower from the 5th floor, the tower's lost. You need to push into the tower again from the ground floor, because you're not going to win it top down. And that's pretty much it for the Watchtower. Any questions, comments, concerns, anything that I might have missed?
Good
Yes.
job.
I would like to add that all the shields are one way, so you don't have to actually poke yourself out. You can just stand behind them.
But I believe all watchtowers you can pull any vehicle from, so that's fun.
Yep.
Oh, I did cover the gun deck. The gun deck was back on floor number 3. Floor number 3 sometimes has anti-vehicle and sometimes anti-personnel guns. Floor number 5, which is where the flight pads are, will contain your anti-aircraft guns. Usually 2 on the anti-aircraft guns. On the 3rd floor, you could either have 2 or 4 turrets.
Hey guys, I'm back from eating.
And yeah, I think I covered that, but thank you for the reminder.
Yeah,
so I could restate.
Good job, everybody, on the alert. 45% for the NC.
I know we're so good at this game.
Any
Well,
questions
fantastic.
about any of the buildings that I covered during this training, guys? I know we're coming up on 2 hours, which, again, I'm sorry. I honestly only thought it was going to take like an hour, but in practice it took 2.
I'll just add breaching ground level into a tower. You have a lot of options, some less good than others, but also a vehicle ramp on each side that could be both useful and a death trap.
Yeah, let's go over that real quick. Everyone take the elevator down to the 1st floor.
Teleport.
Yep, teleporter. And immediately make a right outside of the teleporter. So we're on the ground floor exterior. This doorway, for what I would think would be fairly obvious reasons, is not the best way in. So if you're going to do a breach and you see this teleporter shield right there in front of you, know that no matter how many bullets, explosives, grenades you throw at that thing, you're not going to get any target behind that shield. They're going to have free reign to shoot you, and you can't do a dang thing to them. This is
Also,
not
I think we're all in a restricted area.
Yes, and as you're running through, it will be
Yes.
restricted, but you'll just be running through. But if you see that shield, you're on the wrong side of the tower. So where I'm going to show you the right side, let's run through the tower and go to the complete opposite side. And once you're on the northern side of the tower, when you take a quick peek inside, you see no shield. So this is the correct side. So if you're here, this is where you want to do a breach.
But it won't always be the north side.
No. It won't always be in the north side. Sometimes it's the east, sometimes it's south. It just depends on the layout of the tower, which way it's facing.
Just look for a door that doesn't have a big panel in front of it.
Yeah, and you
can
can
the door
usually
clearly,
see
that's
that on
outside.
approach. So if you're squad leader or leading a fire team, just be sure to approach from either side of the door, not directly head on. So that way you could at least see what's on the inside of your doorway. If you see the driveway, or the, I don't even know what term the space, not the spawn of the vehicle, but the drive-through. If you see the drive-through,
pad.
then you're on the good side. If you see the blue shield or a wall, you're on the wrong side.
Does it always have the wall here?
The wall
On the
opposite
outside?
the doorway? Yes.
Yes.
The wall outside the door?
Yes, if you're outside the door and you're looking inside and you're looking directly in, there's always a wall here.
We've locked down Hassan. Great job, everyone.
Yeah.
The only other breach points I would say would be a more complicated breach, which would be either the west side or east side. And again, if you do a breach this way, you're just you have a lot of areas that you need to protect yourself on your breach. Because as soon as you turn this corner and you're into the vehicle drive-through, you have the 2 stairs on the left as well as the platform on the left where the vehicle terminals are that you can get shot from. You have the opposite stairwell, which has a railing, which is also a place where you can get very shot from. So it's very difficult. And same thing on the west side. You have the same exact thing, just mirror image. So if you're on the west side and you're breaching through, you have the opposite railing stairs. You have the vehicle stairwell as well as the vehicle platform.
Take some
that
ammunition.
is going to take some pot shots at you as soon as you turn this corner and go in. The only last input that I had is the vehicle exits. Both sides of this tower. Sometimes the towers only have 1 vehicle terminal. Most have 2. If you're coming in from this side and you immediately have the vehicle terminal, vehicle ramp to your right or to your left, depending on which way you're coming in, you can actually use that as a safe zone. I wouldn't bring a whole squad through here, because someone is going to go ahead and walk through the middle of this vehicle pad, and that's going to kill them, just like it killed me. Medic. So walking on the vehicle pad is never a good thing. No medic?
She's coming.
Thank you. But if you stay to the sides, you can't survive a vehicle pull. And again, I would not recommend this. Don't bring a squad through here because you're literally asking for half your squad to die because someone will be on the pad. Trust me. I've been playing this game for 12 years. You're going to lose somebody on the pad because either they just wanted to run across, thought they could get across, saw no threat, or just wasn't aware and they weren't paying attention. You're going to lose somebody. I wouldn't take a full squad through here. But you can take a small fire team and maybe put up an infantry turret and then billy goat your way over the wall. I've seen that done. If you're a light assault, I can see you using your booster pack to get over the vehicle terminal and then pull a Sunday or something. So not ideal. I wouldn't recommend it. I would just take a few more steps and go in through the vehicle drive-through, which is where Hydro is right now. This is a much safer approach to get inside this building. I would never, ever recommend going through the vehicle. Any other topic suggestions, questions, anything?